Okay, so let us take a look at the extra makeup in HTML. Okay, but we are going to first look at the doc types. Okay, because there have been several versions of HTML, each web page should begin with a doc type declaration to tell a browser which version of HTML the page is using. Although browsers usually display a page even if it is not included. Okay, you should note that. Okay, so for example here, if we don't have this doc type, this one here, we delete it, like Control X, we delete it and we save our file, you are going to see that our page will be loaded even if it is not there. So for example here we might have the h1 hello, and we save. As you can see, our page has been loaded even if it is not there, but it is strictly it is not strictly the case. Yeah, even if you don't include it here, but we shall see some effects. Okay, the negative effects. Okay, and let us go back to where we were. Okay, so Control Z. Okay, so we will therefore be including one in each example for the rest of the course. Okay, here as we have seen, we will include one of them. Okay, let us see, because we have seen that doc types HTML has been given out in different versions. There are many versions. For example, let us take a look at the versions. So here, this one, the doc type, this one, angle brackets, doc type, this one with the exclamation mark. This one specified that this is HTML. This is HTML5. Okay, this one, it is HTML5. This one, okay, this doc type specify that the HTML document is for HTML version 5. Okay, this one, okay, version 5, and this one, it is for version 4. This one, it is for version 4. This doc type declaration, it is for version 4. This one, it is for traditional XHTML. Okay, 1.0. This one, and whenever you see it, you just know that this is XHTML. Okay, 1.0. Okay, and this one, it is strict XHTML. Okay, 1.0. Okay, this declaration, as you can see, they differ from each other. Okay, they differ from each other. Here we have strict.tdd, DTD. Here we have traditional DTD. Okay, so as you can see, this one is oh no, cancel. Oh, this one, it is the XML declaration. Okay, that is the XML declaration. And as you will see when we come to look at CSS and its box model on a certain level. Okay, on a certain level. Okay, the use of a doc type can also help the browser to render a page correctly. So if you want your page to render correctly, you should use a doc type. Okay, no, don't skip it. Okay, so those are the versions, and because XHTML was written in XML, and so you will sometimes see pages that use the XHTML strict doc type start with the optional XML declaration. Okay, you will see them sometimes. Okay, so this one, the XHTML, this one, the XHTML was written using XML, okay, language, which stands for extensible markup language. This one, it is for extensible hypertext markup language. This one, it is only extensible markup language. So this one, the XHTML was written using this one. Okay, and for that, sometimes you will see this HTML, okay, strict doc type. This one, this one start with the optional, this one, XML. Okay, so after knowing all that, we have known that it has been existing in different versions. Let us look at comments. You know, we are looking at the extra makeup. So comments, they are not comments are just a block of code which is not run by the browser, which is not executed. Okay, it is. We have seen it if you have ever programmed in other languages like Python, JavaScript. You have also looked at comments. Okay, even in HTML we have comments, and they are written like this one. This one, this is their structure. That is their structure. And when we write here, this is the comment. Okay, and here we have our head. This is the head heading 1. This is heading 1. Okay, and here, oh, guys, I want to correct this mistake. There was sometimes I call this one head, but this one, it is a header. Okay, this one header, it is a header, not a head. Okay, so this one, let us have another h2 tag. Okay, this is the subheading. Okay, this is the subheading, and if we save, we're going to see that this one, it is not going to be shown, it is not going to be executed by the browser. Okay, like this. I think we're not seeing anything, we're seeing nothing. Okay, those are the comments. We can use them, okay, to explain what our code does, and they are useful in documentation. Okay, so let us look at the ID attribute. So we have seen ID attributes when we are working with forms. Okay, so let us see how we can work with them. So these IDs, so for every HTML element can carry the ID attribute, and it is used uniquely to identify that element from other elements and on that page. Okay, and its value should start with a letter for all, or a letter or any other character. Okay, it should start with a letter or an underscore, not a number. Okay, not a number or any other character. Okay, other characters, I mean like the upper signs, like that, the upper sign, the dollar signs. Okay, so it can start with the underscore or a letter. Okay, you should note that, and it is important. It is important that no two elements on the same page should have the same value for their ID attributes. Okay, otherwise the value is no longer unique. Okay, that ID should be for only one element. Okay, two elements should not share the same ID. Okay, that ID should be for one element. Okay, it should be for one element. And if you go we're going to learn about JavaScript, language that allows you to add interactivity to your pages. ID attributes can be used to allow the script to work with that particular element, and the ID attribute is known as a global attribute because it can be used on any element. Okay, so with that, we have seen how to declare, how to use ID element. We just it is an attribute. We just go inside the opening tag, and we specify that ID equals, then the quotation ID equals, and we give it the names of heading 1, like that. We give it. So that's how we can use IDs. Okay, you will see how they are applied when you will start working with CSS, cascading style sheets, or JavaScript. Okay, and even other languages. Okay, you will see how to work with them. Okay, but strictly they are used in CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so let us look at class attributes. So for every HTML element, every HTML element can also carry a class attribute. Sometimes rather than uniquely identifying one element, okay, within a document, you will want a way to identify several elements as being different from other elements on the page. Okay, for example, you might have some paragraphs of text that contain information that is more important than others, and want to distinguish these elements. Or you might want to differentiate between links that point to other pages on your own site and links that points to external sites. And to do this, you can use the class attributes, and its value should describe the class it belongs to. And let us see how we can use them. Okay, so for example, here we can have this one to have a class. We declare it using in the same way as we use IDs. Okay, we can specify that class, it is here subheading, like that. Even this one we can have another one which is a paragraph, and we give it can give it also a class which is the paragraph, like that. Paragraph. Okay, like that. Okay, and you should note that this is forbidden. This one, it is forbidden. Okay, so here we can have h2, even here h2. This is forbidden. This one for id, this is forbidden, but for classes this is not forbidden. Okay, this is not forbidden. Okay, that is not forbidden. Okay, and if you do this, you will face some negative effects when you start working with JavaScript and CSS. Okay, so let us go back. So let us look at the block elements. Okay, block elements. These some elements will always appear to start on a new line in the browser window. Okay, and these are known as the block level elements, and some of them will have the h1, h2, h3, those ones, and even the paragraphs, the paragraph tags, and the unordered list tags and the list tags. Okay, so those are the examples that we have. For example, here we can have, oh no, let us use these examples. So here I see each h1 tag is starting on a new paragraph. I see this one is on its own paragraph. Even this one on its own paragraph. This one on its own line, not paragraph, line. Okay, even this paragraph, it is on its own line. Okay, so let us see some elements that and those ones you should remember, they are called the block level elements. So let us look at others, the opposite of these ones, and these ones are called inline elements. Okay, these inline elements, we have them these ones sometimes they will always appear to contribute on the same line as their neighboring elements, and these ones, they are known as inline elements. Okay, and some of them that we have the A attribute, the A tag or the A element, and the B element, and the EM element, and even IMG element, the image, okay, element, the IMG. So let us take a look. So here we have our paragraph here. Okay, so in our paragraph we have seen that one of the inline element that we have is the A tag. So let us have the A tag there. The A tag, so this one specified that, let me bring empty. So this one, go to next. You're going to see that this one is going to contribute on this, on the same, is going to be on the same line as this one. Okay, so for it, it doesn't create its own line, another line, it doesn't create another line. So if we try to save, we are going to see that here we have hello, go to next. Are you seeing there? But if we try, let us try to do this. Okay, let us try to do this. So here we have h1, even here h1. I see this has been sent to the next line. The h1 has been sent to the next line, which means this is a block level this is a block level element. Okay, this h1, it's a block level element, while the A, this A, it is an inline element. Okay, so let us take a look at how to group text or elements in a block. Okay, so let us take a look at how to group a text and the elements in a block. Right? Text and elements in a block. So to group them, we use the div element, which allows you to group a set of elements together in a block level box. Okay, and for example, you might create a div, okay, element that contains all of the elements here for header and for head of your site, and the logo, which includes the logo and the navigation. Or you might create a div element to contain the elements, okay, from the comments from the visitors. Okay, so we declare the div, we use the div tag like that. This div tag, this one, everything inside this div tag, okay, will be in that block. Okay, and we can style this block so that all the elements inside that block can have the same style when we start using CSS. Okay, so that is the div tag. Then inside this tag, it's where we put all the elements. For example, these ones, let us select all, we control, then we save them. So this one, it is very helpful when it comes to styling. Okay, it is very helpful when it comes to styling when you start using CSS. Okay, it is very helpful. So that's how we can use it. It can also have the class, the ID, okay. It can also have the name, okay, different things, okay. So that's how we can use it. So how can we, this one, we group them in a block, okay, in a block. So let us see how we can group the text and elements in a line, okay. This one in a block, but we want to group them in a line, okay. So we use the span, okay, the span element, and this one like an inline equivalent of the div element, okay. It is used to either contain a section of text where there is no other suitable elements to differentiate it from the surrounding text, okay. So this one inline this one, the span element, it acts like an inline equivalent of the div element, okay. It is like these ones, the a tag, it is equivalent, but here we are talking about block grouping in terms of block and inline. There we were just looking at how inline elements, okay, how elements, okay, they can appear on the page, okay, either on its own line or can contribute to that line where it has been put with other element, okay, with another element, okay. So here we use the span. So for example, let us have an example here. So for example, here we can have the span, we can have the paragraph, and we have a dummy text, okay. Like this is the paragraph, okay. Well, this is the paragraph. So here we can have in between this one, we can have a span, okay. We can have a span. This one, let us have a span. This one is for inline. So inside here we can put, this span can have class, can have the ID, okay. But let us put some information here. So this is the span information, okay. And if we save, I see this is the paragraph and this is the span information. I see they're on the same line, okay. They're on the same, it is a block, inline block, okay. Inline, yeah, inline block, okay. We have grouped it inline, like inline grouping, okay. But for this one, let us create the same here. Let us just copy this one and we try to use the div and we see what is going to happen. So if we copy and we bring it here, we change this span to div, yeah. Let us change it to div, even this one to div. And if we save, as you can see, this paragraph, it has ended from here. It has ended, yeah. This is the paragraph, okay. This is the paragraph. Then this one, all this element, this text has been grouped into a block, okay. It has been put on another block, on a block, okay. It has this block, okay. It has been broken, okay. As you can see, this is a block, this is a block, this is the div, this is the span information, okay. This one, div information, that one, okay. This is the div information, and this is the paragraph. I think you are getting me, okay. But this one remains on the same line, okay. This is the paragraph, okay, and it continues, with the span. This is the span information on the same line, okay. So we can even put multiple things here. We can put a paragraph, like we can put a paragraph, another paragraph, like that. We can do multiple things, designs, so it just remain on the same line, okay. Okay, but this paragraph, remember, it is a block element, okay. It is a block element, so it will go onto another line, okay. But just know that this one, it is a inline grouping. The span we are using, the span is for inline grouping, and the div, it is for block grouping, okay. So let us take a look at something, okay, called the iframe. So let us look at iframes, okay. So iframes are used, this iframe, an iframe, yeah, is like a little window that has been cut into your page, okay. And in that window you can see another page, okay. And the term iframe is an abbreviation of inline frame. And one common use of iframes that you may have been that you may see on various websites is to embed a Google map into a page or a YouTube video in a page, and the content of the iframe can be any HTML page, either located on the same server or anywhere else on the website, on a web. Okay, and the iframe is created using the iframe element. Okay, and there are a few attributes that that you will need to know to use it. And the first one is the src for source, and the height, even the width. Okay, so let us take a look at this tag, which is the iframe. iframe, that one. So this one has the source and then the frame border. Okay, the frame border, like the width. Okay, the frame border width. Okay, or width. Okay, so let us not work with that. We are going to work with the most useful ones, the height and even the width. Okay, those ones. So the height, if we specify like 200, even the width here we specify 200, so it is in square form. Here we need to provide the source. Okay, we need to provide the source, okay, where that page is coming from. Okay, so for example, let us have a page here. Let us try to see if we can do it. Let us try to see. Oh, no. Oh, I don't have internet connection. So I'm going to create a server. I'm going to create a server. I'm going to pretend that I have a server, which is I'm going to create it using Node.js. Okay, so I'll come back after creating a server. That server that we are going to test it, okay, using it. Okay, so I'm going to return back. Okay guys, I'm done setting up my server. I'm done setting up my local server using Node.js. Okay, and for you, for you, you can use a link of another website. Okay, a page from another website. Just visit any website. Okay, visit any website, copy the link, and we are going to use that link. Okay, visit any website, go here in the URL, then copy that link. Okay, here above here, copy this link, all of this link, copy it, visit a web page, an online website. Okay, so here for me, I don't have internet connection. As you can see, I don't have internet connection. Okay, I don't have internet connection. My Wi-Fi, my router is off. Okay, I don't have internet connection. So we have got here, I've saved I've created a, let me search for localhost. So this is my server. It is running on localhost 3000. Okay, port 3000, and the page is example, the page. So if I search there, this is my website. So okay, it is it is like that. Don't mind about the design and the colors. Okay, we shall see that it is just we want to use this one in our iframe. Okay, iframe element. Okay, so here under the source, so here height we had 200, here the width we had 200 also. So here the source, you are going to get that. So for example, I've visited this one. So I come here and I copy. So press Ctrl C to copy. Okay, all of this one, all of that link. Okay, then go back here under the source and paste there. Okay, paste that link there. So after doing that, press Ctrl S to save. So after saving, and we reload our page. Okay, we reload our page. Okay, as you can see here, we have got an iframe here. We have loaded the another page, this page, this one, this page. Okay, we have loaded it in our website. Okay, as you can see. Okay, we can even scroll around. Okay, so that's how you can use them. Okay, that's how you can use iframes. They are really cool. Okay, they are really cool, as you can see. Okay, they are really cool. Okay, so with this one we can apply some design. So we have another attribute here, which is scrolling. You can set it to no, so we don't want this scroll, so it has lost. So for example, let us remove this one. So if we don't specify, I think we have this scrolling. We can remove it by using the no option. I think here we don't have the scrolling. That's scrolling. Okay, so this one, but I think scrolling should be there. okay, but you should just apply some CSS. Okay, so that's how we can use iframes. We can use iframe. Even we can specify here the frame border. Okay, we can even specify the frame border. So frame border, is it the spelling? So frame border we can specify, and we set it to 0 so that it doesn't have this frame. So for example, if I remove, let me not specify. Okay, let me first remove it. X, are you seeing we have this border, this one border, this border, outer layer, this one outer layer. So if we want to remove it, we just put there and we set it to 0. Okay, we can now have no border, as you can see. We can now have no border, as you can see. So we can even specify that we want 20 with it to be large. You can see. Okay, let me see, let me test. Okay, we cannot go beyond. We cannot go beyond. If we set it to 1, it is there. Okay, if we set it to 0, it is not there. Okay, so that's what we can do. That's what we can do. Even we can set the seamless. Okay, seamless, and the HTML5 in the HTML5 a new attribute called seamless can be applied to an iframe where scroll bars those scroll bars are not desired. Okay, and the seamless attribute, like some other new HTML attributes, does not need a value, but you will often see some authors giving seamless, some YouTubers giving us seamless. So for example, here we can have seamless like that. This is HTML5, and we save. You see here, let us specify 0. No, as if we cannot use it here. There are some errors, but let's forget about it. Okay, let's forget about it, but you can search about it. You can search about it. Okay, so that's how we can use iframes. Even we have seen everything, even designing the metadatas. Even this metadata it is about, but we have already seen these attributes, the uses. We have already seen all that. Okay, we have already seen all that when we were trying to see the structure. Okay, so we have seen all that. Okay, so that's how we can apply extra makeup to our HTML document and all the concepts we need to know. Okay.